Welcome to Celebrity Inside. Penny designer met patrician Harry back once he was a tot. At the time Thornton was operating as aristocrat Diana's astrologer, a relationship that spanned 6 years. Before we continue, please support us by clicking on the subscription button and turn on the notification bell for more updates. I usually consider him as this small boy briefly trousers, Thornton told Today. Currently 38, Thornton aforementioned that Harry has reworked which his birth chart informs that transformation. Thornton is referring, specifically, to Harry's call in 2020 to step back from his duties as a senior royal and move, in conjunction with his wife Meghan, Peeress of Sussex, to California. The move has had major repercussions. Once shot with Prince William and his wife, the aristocrat of Wales, Harry and Meghan, who began qualitative analysis in 2016, are currently reportedly estranged from his family. The couples recently reunited for the primary time in 2 years for Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Since the step back, Harry has opened regarding his experiences growing up Windsor in somber interviews, referring to psychological state struggles, grief over losing his ma at the age of 12, and substance abuse, notably in 2 interviews with Oprah Winfrey. Harry is expected to share additional details during a forthcoming memoir. He was forever this fun-loving, warm, friendly, outgoing, quiet person, and that we noticed this change. And that we think, well, wherever did this terribly serious, choked with intention, new Harry return from? Designer said. I believe it's the reverse. I believe this Harry, this man with intention, the person who takes things seriously, who's within the role of the guardian and supplier for his family, that's the important Harry. Consistent with Thornton, Harry's current behavior is additional in line with the traits exhibited in his birth chart, or a map of the celebs at the precise moment of his birth. Born on September 15, 1984, Harry's sun sign is Virgo. However, there's such a lot more to his pseudoscience profile than that, designer aforementioned. Like his grandmother Queen Elizabeth II, Harry contains a Capricorn rising, and Saturn, positioned high overhead, rules his chart. Capricorn is additionally dominated by Saturn. Among astrology, every planet represents a task or a realm of life. The sign the world falls in is additional the manner in that task is carried out. Saturn may be about golf stroke structure to things. It's of awfully serious-minded planet, Thornton said of the planet. Harry's sturdy Capricornian and Saturnian influences, Thornton said, create him a driven and philanthropic person. He is a one who has a purpose and cares regarding that means of his life and what he needs to try and do with it, she said. Designer points to the megacycle axis, the road connecting the 10th house, destiny and purpose, with the 4th house, your family, your childhood, however you grew up, and therefore the influence your family and your childhood expertise had on you, that in turn shapes the planet you produce yourself. Somebody who's got Capricorn rising and Saturn on the midheaven would be an individual who would wear the responsibilities of their birth terribly seriously, and they would wish to continue, in Harry's case, the royal line, she said. But, Thornton said, since he takes his duty thus seriously, once he felt unable to be who he wished to be, he took a forceful change. He couldn't do the great that he wanted to try and do within the world, and he couldn't be the daddy and therefore the husband he wanted to be at identical time as being a senior member of the royalty and golf stroke, the royal code first, she said. The 12 zodiac signs are separated into 4 elements: air, fire, water and earth. And in Harry's chart, earth signs have outstanding positions. Really prominent positions. For one, his big 3 are his sun, the ego, his moon, the inner self, and ascendant, what we have a tendency to exude to the world, are all earth signs. Harry's sun is in Virgo, his moon is in Taurus, and he contains a Capricorn ascendant. Further, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in Virgo, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is in Capricorn. For Thornton, this propensity of earth signs underlines what she believes to be Harry's serious nature. He has large care and concern for the duty that he does. His commitment to creating life higher, to making the world better, may be a very heartfelt thing, she said. However, Harry is hardly stalwart once all. He served within the British Army for a decade and can do stunts on an Apache helicopter. And there's proof of his sporting streak in his chart, designer said. Mars, the action planet, is found in the freedom-loving fireplace sign of Sagittarius. "That's somebody who's fun-loving and adventurous," Thornton said, adding a theory that he used that as a front to hide his more sensitive nature. Thornton conjointly points out that Mars is conjunct, or shut to, Uranus, loaning Harry the will to travel towards things that are dangerous or innovative and break boundaries within the process. This can be Harry the rebel. This can be Harry the who doesn't wish to forever know identical way as anyone else. And this is also what triggered his fight or hightail it mechanism once he left the royal family she aforementioned. Harry's mom, aristocrat Diana, died during an automotive accident when he was 12. Harry has since spoken brazenly regarding the toll such grief took on his life. Designer said there's an echo of Diana in his chart, charting her enduring influence on her youngest son. Among astrology, the moon sign often represents mother-child relationships. In Harry's chart, the moon falls at 21 degrees of Taurus, 2 degrees off from Diana's Venus, the planet of love, that was conjointly in Taurus. This implies Harry moon is conjunct with Diana Venus. If you've got a moon-Venus conjunction, it's of extremely crazy and deep affiliation, while not words one in all the foremost lovely connections to have. Harry's moon in Taurus may be an echo and a resonance with Diana she aforementioned. Harry himself has said she is a quite living presence in his life. And that I assume you see this very clearly with this moon-Venus connection she aforementioned. Patrician William, Harry's brother, has his Venus wherever Diana's was, another loving link together with his mother that designer said is a sign that they're going to reconcile within the future. However, Harry's chart is also engraved with loss, Thornton said, because of its opposing facet between the moon and Saturn, indicating a separation from the place of nurturing. This can be all the additional severe given Harry's moon is found in the 4th house, the place of home. Synastry is that the study of however two birth charts are in speech communication with one another. Thornton, who has written a book on the subject, aforementioned that Harry's synastry together with his wife, Meghan, Peeress of Sussex, shows an instantaneous connection. This wasn't one thing either of them had to figure at. It had been an attraction initially, site designer said. There's conjointly the way to know their relationship's evolution, particularly in how it compact his relationship with the crown. She points to Meghan's action planet Mars on Harry's ascendant-descendant axis. We will scrutinize Mars as this driving force. She brings out Harry's ascendant that is Capricorn. She brings out his real persona, she said. As for the future? Thornton said Harry's chart will be a part of what shapes his decisions. You're born at a time once you're meant to be born. That moment with the planets is an absolute reflection of who you are. There are all the tools you wish for your journey, she